Hi everyone, it's Ian here from Crack Maths and welcome to tutorial 64 on how to compare two datasets using the median and range. So first of all, let us look at what is the median and what is the range. So the median is the middle value of a dataset when the values are all placed in numerical order. So let's have a look at this dataset here quickly. So let's say I've got five numbers here. Let's say I've got 7, 4, 6, 4 and 5. Okay, so the first step in order to find the median of these is to put these in order. So if I write these in numerical order, I get 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. As there's five values, I can find the middle value by doing 5 add 1, which is 6. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. So the middle value will be the value that is at position 3. So in this case, that is the 5. Okay, so the median of this data is 5. And now the range of the data is the way that we measure the consistency of the data, and it tells us the difference between the largest value and the smallest value. So for these numbers here, I can see that the range is calculated by doing 7 take away 4, and that will equal 3. So for this data, we've got a median of 5 and a range of 3. Let's now look at another group of data and have a look at their median and range. So let's say I've got another group of data here, and this data is 1, 8, 2, 12, and 3. Okay, so what we can see here is if we put this in order, it goes 1, 2, 3, 8, 12. And so it's five pieces of data again, so the median is going to be the piece of data in the third position. So we can see here that the median of this data is 3, and the range of this data is going to be the distance from the highest to the smallest. So that's going to be 12 take away 1. So this data is going to have a range of 11. So what we can see here is we've got two groups of data, and they both have their own median and they both have their own range. So for set 1, the median was 5. So we can say that the median in set 1 is higher than the median in the second set because the median in the second set was 3. And we can also say, if we compare the ranges, that the range for set 1 was 3 and the range for set 2 was 11. So we can say that set 1 has a lower range. Now, what we also need to know is, what does this mean? So what is important about the lower range? If something has a lower range, it means that their data is more consistent. So a low range means we've got consistent data. So if we were looking at these two groups, we would say group 1 has a higher median and a lower range. And then we'd say that group 2 has a lower median and a higher range. Now, the interesting thing about these numbers is we can use them to dictate how much the median tells us about the data. With the second set, we've got the median of 3 and the range of 11. That high range tells us that this median doesn't really tell us much about the numbers that we have. Okay, so if we look at set 1, we've got a median of 5 and a range of 3. So what we can see is that 5 is actually much more representative of those numbers. In functional skills maths, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to be able to compare data sets using their median and range. Okay, so let's have a look at some questions. So here we go. Question 1 says, set A has a median test score of 80 and a range of 30. Set B has a median test score of 85 and a range of 20. Compare the medians and the ranges of the two sets. Okay, so if I look at these results, what I can see as my comparison is that set A has a lower median test score and a higher range. So that means that results in set A are lower, but more spread out. Okay? For set B, I can see that the median might be higher, but less spread out. Now, what is interesting to know from these as well is, can we determine which set has the highest score? Well, let's have a think about this 80 and range of 30. let's say that there are 3 people in set A. How can I make these results look using this information? I could have a median of 80, so 80 has to be the middle number. The range has to be 30. So what I could get is I could get 80, 80, and 110. Okay, that would have a range of 30 and a median of 80. Or I could have 50, 80, 80. That would have a median of 80 and a range of 30. Or I could have 65, 80, 95. That would also have a median of 80 and a range of 30. But what I can see is that the highest potential score for this group could be 110. Okay, let's have a look at set B. Let's say there's 3 people in set B as well. So here we go, we've got a median of 85 and a range of 20. We could have 85, 85, 105, or we could have 65, 85, 85. Okay, and both of these would be correct representations of this set. What we can see here is that although we know that set B has the higher median test score and the more consistent data, we actually don't know who has the highest test result or which class the highest test result is within. Okay, so we are given very limited information with this. So all we can really determine when we compare the median and the range is which group has the higher median and which group has the larger range. Okay, let's have a look at another question. So here we go. We've got question 2 here, and it says set A has a median price of £25 and a range of £15. Set B has a median price of £30 and a range of £10. Compare the medians and ranges of the two sets. Okay, so here we go. I can see that set A has a lower median price and a larger range, meaning that the prices within set A are less consistent and the median price is lower. Okay, and that is all I can say. Right, let's have a look at one more question and then we're going to finish. So here we go. Question 3 says, set A has a median temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit and a range of 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Set B has a median temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit and a range of 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Compare the two medians and the two ranges for the data sets. Okay, so here we go. We can see that set B has a higher median temperature and a lower range. So we can say that the median temperature for set B is higher than set A, and the range of temperatures in set B is lower than the range of temperatures in set A. Therefore, the temperatures in set B are more consistent. Okay, right, that's that. I'm going to finish it there, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.